Everybody, this is Shantanu Jagtap, Associate Director, MCCI. The MCCI is 86 years old chamber and emerging as a voice of the industry last few decades. So today, as on agriculture front, we have Mr. Dharmesh Gupta for delivering his session on impact of COVID-19 on upcoming Kharif season and overall agri input industry. So let me take this opportunity to introduce him. So, Mr. Dharmesh Gupta is a whole-time director of Bharat Insecticide Limited, Bharat Group. He has over two decades of experience in agri-input agrochemical industry. He had pursued the bachelor degree along with MBA in marketing and finance. So his priorities in including and formulating the policies and strategies plan for future growth and goal of the positive influencing organization bottom line. Under his robust leadership style, business acumen, creative thinking and ability to mediate and negotiate with individuals and groups has led to significant growth of the organization of agrochemical sector in the industry. Today, it's privilege for me to have him on the board to deliver the talk on the agri input situation in current pandemic. So it's over to you. You can start with your session, sir.
Hope you have made me the presenter.
Yes, sir. You can start with your presentation.
Thank you, Shantanu. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Shantanu Jagtap and Maratha Chamber of Commerce and Industry for giving me this opportunity. I welcome all the participants who are joined in this presentation. So, I am Dharmesh Gupta, as told by Shantanu Jagtap. So, I am working as a director in Bharat Insecticide Limited. Bharat Insecticide Limited is a group company of Bharat Group. It is more than 40-year-old group, and group was started by Mr. S.N. Gupta, so he is the promoter chairman, and we are into manufacturing of technicals, formulations, we are into domestic trade, we are into international trade. So this is the brief about Bharat Group. Now I will take you through my presentation. So I think not only India, but the whole world is has grappled under this COVID pandemic, and which has affected most of the nations across the globe. And if you see, since today morning, more than 31 lakh people have been infected with this virus. That is the official number issued by World Health Organization. We don't know about the unofficial numbers. I would like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and Government of India for taking timely decision of lockdown. I think due to which India is in a better position as compared to most of the other nations. I think most of the European countries, US, and a lot of other countries, they are suffering hugely. But till now, it has been controlled in a perfect manner in India. And I pray to Almighty that very soon all of us will come out of this pandemic. So now I will take you through my presentation. Hope it is visible, Shantanu?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So the topic for today's presentation is impact of COVID-19 pandemic on agri-input industry and upcoming challenges for Kharif season. So, friends, since we belong to pesticide manufacturing industry, so I will majorly focus on the pesticide, and I will not be talking about much on the seeds and fertilizers. So the presentation has been divided majorly into 5 portions. So we'll talking about the current situation. Then, of course, we'll be talking about the challenges. Then we'll see the upcoming trends. Then what are the opportunities? And then the support required from government, various governments, whether it's central government, state governments, or the local administration. So if we talk about the current situation, so I think all of us know that economy is in poor shape since the lockdown was imposed on 24th of March on pan-India basis. So since then, most of the industries, they have stopped manufacturing, and there's a lockdown situation pan-India. So it's almost now around 40 days that we have seen this lockdown, and due to this, everything has paralyzed. And we can see because of closure of the manufacturing units, the migrant workers, they are suffering hugely, the agriculture operations. So if you see overall economy, not only in India, but globally, the lockdown is there in most of the countries. So even the exports, they have also suffered. So overall, there's a huge impact on the economy. And we are seeing the various reports in the Indian scenario as well as in the global scenario. And we are expecting that in 2020, most economies across the globe, they will have negative growth. So they are saying that it will be 2 to 3% negative growth in most of the countries, except China and India. So India, they are saying that it should be between 1.5 to 2%. So at least India and China will be in positive growth, but most of the countries across the globe, we are seeing that there will be negative growth in 2020. Then farming operations are adversely affected. So friends, this was the peak harvesting time in the month of March and April on all over India. So Rabi crops were there to harvest, and due to lockdown, the harvesting of the Rabi crops as well as the early sowing of summer crops has badly affected due to non-availability of the laborers, due to non-availability of the transportation. The mean of transportation was not available. So due to these issues, the farming operations were badly affected. Even there was a severe impact on the perishable items, specifically the fruits and vegetables. So farmer had to sell their crops at rock bottom prices. So there was a major impact on the farming operations pan-India. Then farm gate prices of perishable commodities crashed. So as I told in the previous line also, since the lifting of the commodity from the farm gate was not possible due to lockdown, specifically in the initial 3 to 4 weeks. So there was no other choice with the farmer to sell their produce at rock bottom prices. So this has affected the farmer's income, and he was in bad shape. Timely inclusion of agrochemical in essential commodity by Government of India. So on 24th of March, the lockdown was announced, and we are thankful to Government of India that very soon they realized the importance of agriculture operations and agri-input industry. And on 25th of March, Ministry of Home Affairs has issued a notification wherein the agri-input was considered as an essential commodity and it was exempted. So this was a timely decision and which has helped. But what has happened, despite that order on 25th for the opening of the shops of seeds and pesticides, and then subsequent notification on 27th for the allowing of the manufacturing operations of the pesticide industry and the ancillary industry. The local administration took a lot of time to understand that order, and unfortunately, we were never had that kind of knowledge that local administration had that kind of power. Despite having all kind of notification by Ministry of Home Affairs, at most of the places, the agrochemical industries, they could not get the permission from the local administration to restart their operations. But after a couple of weeks, and then they started granting the permission either at 1/3 capacity or at 50%. And then subsequently, the operations were started in the manufacturing sector of the agrochemical industry. Then Indian Meteorological Department has forecasted that India is likely to have a normal monsoon in 2020. Even most of the global weather model, they have also forecasted the similar situation. And I think around more than 60% probability is there that the rainfall will either be normal or it will be above average. So that means we are going to have normal monsoon, and that will be between 96 to 104% of the long period average of 50 years. And specifically, they have predicted higher range, above average rain in the month of August and September. But I think July is more crucial. So if the rains are good in the month of July, so that will really be good, not only for the Indian agriculture, but the Indian economy as a whole. Then agri-input industry is least impacted. So since it is an essential item, just like pharma sector, so like medicines for human are the lifeline, same way the pesticides are the lifeline for the crops. So the crop need the pesticides for the prevention of disease and pest. So we feel that since it is an essential commodity, so it should have minimum impact on the agri-input industry as compared to other industry like travel industry, hospitality industry. So industries, those kind of industry, they have complete lockdown, and the non-essential items, even they have severe impact on the respective industries. But we feel that the agri-input industry will have minimum impact. So that is the current scenario. Then coming to challenges, availability of products. So I think this is the most critical aspect. Though the manufacturing of agrochemical has started and most of the companies have got permission to start their operations, but there are various bottlenecks to run the plant. There is an issue with the availability of raw material. There is an issue with the packing material, then transportation, labor. So I think they are running at normally a capacity of 25 to 40%. So it means since last 40-45 days, the production of agrochemical is not happening as per requirement. And since the production is less, so this is going to definitely impact the upcoming Kharif season, because in the month of May, the sowing will happen for cotton, then subsequently rice, sugarcane sowing has already started, even completed in a lot of areas. So there's a good demand for the herbicides, but since the production is less, so that is going to impact the availability. The second aspect is the slow clearance of imported shipments of raw material and formulated products at port. Since lockdown, most of the ports, they are almost non-functional. There are a lot of hurdles and a lot of bottleneck at the clearance of shipments of various import consignments at custom houses, the work is not happening as per expectation, and there's a lot of challenge, and the clearance is very slow. So if somebody has imported 50 container, the clearance is happening only for 3 to 5 containers. So since India is majorly dependent for the imports, either from China or other countries, for the basic raw material to produce the technicals, and even some technicals are also imported from China and other part of the world. So since import is very, very slow, so that is also going to impact the availability of various agrochemicals. Then timely supply of products for Kharif, especially herbicides. So since the herbicide consumption happens in the beginning, immediately after the sowing, either as a pre-emergence or at post-emergence. So there are two factors. One, we are expecting a good monsoon. So we expect that a timely sowing will be there. And then the availability of products is an issue. And then the labor availability is also an issue. Since labor is not available, so this year there will be more demand and the herbicide supply will be affected. Then prices of agrochemicals will increase. So due to all these factors, the less production in the domestic manufacturing, slow import clearance, and the impact in China also, since there was also lockdown, and there also the supply constraints are there, and then the labor issue, and of course the currency fluctuation is also there. So because of import dependency and the fluctuation in the price, so like around 30 to 40 days back, the dollar was trading at 71, and now it is trading at between 76 to 77. So 7 to 8% impact of dollar has already happened. So due to these factors, I think the prices of most of the products in the agrochemical definitely is going to increase. Then liquidity crunch, working capital and cash flow. Due to lockdown, there are a lot of issues. Like most of the governments, they have announced the procurement, but the procurement is very slow. The government has announced, specifically in Punjab and Haryana, for the procurement of wheat. So they have announced that if farmer will bring their crop in the month of May and June, they are going to get more price for that crop. So if the procurement will be delayed, so there will be impact, overall impact on the liquidity, because farmer will not get money in time, and then the whole chain will get disrupted, because the farmer, once he will get the money, he will pay to the channel partner in turn will pay to the formulator in turn will pay to the technical manufacturer. So the entire value chain will get affected, and we will see that this will be a big challenge in the upcoming Kharif season. Then reaching the farmers in conventional manner. So due to lockdown, since last 40 days, no one is moving to the field, and most of the companies, they are unable to contact the farmer in the conventional manner. So this will also be a big challenge. So this was the major part of challenges. Now, if we move to the next slide. So what will be the upcoming trend and what kind of changes we are going to see in the near future? The first and foremost is the improvement in business quality. So we feel that due to serious shortage of the products, I think the overall business quality in the agrochemical industry should improve. The way most of the companies, they were giving long credit and huge credit to the channel partners, and in turn the channel partners were selling to the farmers. So I think this should improve, and there should be overall improvement in the quality. Like every year, a lot of pre-placement was happening. So I think there will be very less pre-placement this year due to less availability of the products. So I think this is a good sign overall. Then increased automation in manufacturing units due to labor shortage. A lot of formulation units, they depend hugely on the laborers to produce their products. A lot of manual work is being done in various formulation units, specifically in the packaging sector. So we feel that due to shortage of labor, a lot of companies will go for automation, and they would like to reduce their dependency on the labor, and they would like to shift from the manual working to automated working. So even the medium scale industries and even the small formulators, so they will also go for the automation in the near future. Farm mechanization. So again, this will also increase significantly. So due to labor shortage, there will be a lot of issue at the time of sowing and the other farming operations. So we feel even the small and medium farmer level also, there will be a lot of mechanization will happen. Even the whatever farm implements are available, I think there should be efforts to mobilize those implements so that they can be used in a proper manner, and we have maximum utilization of those implements. Then increased use of e-commerce platform for agrochemical. So I think that is also will be upcoming sector. Till now, I think most of the companies, they are selling their products through conventional method. So like a formulator will supply their products to the distributor will sell it to retailers, and the retailer will sell it to farmers. But going forward, keeping in mind the current scenario, in the long run, the e-commerce platform will take a big chunk in the agrochemical industry also. I think there are some legal hurdle in that. There are some regulatory issues are there. So I think we need to work upon those kind of issues. But in the recent last 10-15 days, we have seen that few startup companies, they have already tied up with few multinational companies, and they've already started using these platforms. But very soon the other companies, they will also use such kind of platforms to make their products available to the farming community at their doorstep. So I think the conventional method in the long run will take a hit, and this e-commerce platform will take a big pie in the agrochemical industry. Then the digital communication. So again, I think this will also be a big turning point in the agrochemical industry. So if you talk about our customer and farmer, as I said in the current situation also, that the conventional method will take a hit. So in the next, I think, couple of months, there will be issue in the movement of the various teams of the agrochemical industry, and it will be difficult to contact the customers and farmers in face-to-face meetings. So I think the mutual meeting, the kind of meeting we are doing today, so I think in the corporate sector, it has already started, and most of the companies who has never done such kind of meeting in their history, so they are also using such kind of virtual meetings. So very soon, the virtual meetings with the customer and farmer will start, and I think this is going to increase in near future. Then teleconsultancy will replace face-to-face interaction with the farmers. So there are a lot of consultants, whether they are paid consultant or the free consultancy given by the various companies to the farmers about the various crops, pest, disease. So I think that will also change, and I think it will shift to teleconsultancy, because face-to-face interaction will be little difficult, and movement is an issue. So I think teleconsultancy is definitely going to increase in the near future. Then app-based communication. So a lot of companies, they already do have such kind of apps. In Bharat also, we have such kind of app with the name of Bharat Kisan app. And with these apps, companies will communicate with the farmers, and in these apps, various informations are available for the farmers. So what are the various crops? What is the major pest and disease? and then what is the solution available to control such kind of pest and disease. Even farmer can interact directly with the company with such kind of apps. So I think these app-based communication will also increase significantly in the near future. So these are the major trend which we feel that going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months, and some of them will have long-term impact. So now coming to the opportunity. So it is being said that every problem will come with opportunity. So we should stay positive, and we should look for the opportunity even in the difficult time. So in this difficult time, what we feel that what can be the opportunity? So more demand for herbicide due to labor shortage. So as I told previously also that there's an issue with the availability of labor, and in the last specifically 1 week, we are hearing specifically from the government of UP, MP, Odisha, even Bihar, that they are trying to contact with the other governments like Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra, to get back their migrant workers from their respective states. So that will further add to the problem of the industry and to the farming operations, because in this difficult time, everyone wants to go back to their home. And if that happens, then there will be further problem. And we expect that this will add to significant demand in the various herbicides, whether it is cotton, soybean, sugarcane, or rice. Then organizations having own technical manufacturing will be in a better position to supply products. So companies like UPL, GADA, and Bharat Group. So since most of these companies, they have strong technical manufacturing base, and we feel that since there is an issue with the availability of technicals, so obviously the companies with strong technical manufacturing in the domestic marketing, so they will be in a better position, and they will be able to cater in a better way to their channel partners. Then opportunity to reduce dependence on China, boost to Make in India by doing backward integration. So we feel that this is a great opportunity for the Indian agrochemical industry, and they can try and go for backward integration to reduce their dependence on China, and it will be a big boost to the initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister for Make in India. And I think for that to happen, so Government of India should also announce some kind of stimulus for the industry, so that will increase the Indian agrochemical industry to go backward and to make investment in the backward integration. Because globally, we are seeing in the last 6 to 12 months that most of the countries, manufacturing companies, so they are trying to shift their base from China, and they are looking for alternatives. Earlier, it was due to environmental issues, now due to Corona and so many other issues. So most of the companies, they want to shift their base from China, and India had got wonderful opportunity to take advantage. So we can shift that base also, and even the Indian companies, they can shift that integration, and then they can reduce dependence on China. So I think this I already explained. So India can become a global hub for the contract manufacturing, and most of the Japanese company and the European companies, so they are looking at India, and India should exploit this opportunity with open hands. So now coming to the last part of the presentation, I think I am still left with 3 to 5 minutes more. So hopefully I will complete. So this is the last part of the presentation. So in this difficult time, we need support from the government. And what kind of support is required? An extension of sale permission of pesticide by at least 6 months. So we have seen this has already happened for the seeds, for the fertilizers. And our stock and sale license and the manufacturing license. Basically, they are valid for the long term, so there is no validity for them. But some state governments, they go for a specific sale permission in their states, and there the sale permission has already expired, and due to lockdown and the various bottlenecks, so it is difficult, since the courier services are also not available, so it's difficult to submit the documents. So we request the various governments, the various stakeholders, if some of them they are also there in this presentation also, so we request them to take it to the respective stakeholders and tell them to issue guidelines immediately, so that the products can be made available to the farmers. Then quicker manufacturing license endorsement. So every year, a lot of companies, they introduce a lot of new products which they are getting registration from the Central Insecticide Board. And after getting the registration from the Central Insecticide Board, these products has to be endorsed in the manufacturing licenses. So a lot of companies, they are facing in the respective states these kind of challenges. They have already applied since last 3-4 months for the addition of the new products in the manufacturing licenses. So we request all the state governments to endorse these additions immediately without any delay, so that these new technology, new products can be made available to the farming community. If this is not being done, then the farmer will be deprived from getting this new technology from the agrochemical industry. Then timely clearance of registrations to make new products available to the farmers. Similarly, a lot of companies, they have applied for the new product registration from the Central Insecticide Board under various categories. It's a 93, 94. So we request Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture and Central Insecticide Board to take it on priority, and wherever, whatever registrations are pending in Central Insecticide Board, or whatever endorsement are pending in the Central Insecticide Board, whether it is for packing endorsement or whether it's a label claim enhancement. So we request them to clear all these pending issues on immediate basis, urgently, without any delay, so that these new products can be made available to the farming community. Then faster clearance at custom. So as I told you, during the challenges also, in the current situation also, so India depends majorly on the imports for the agrochemicals, whether it's a basic raw material to manufacture the technical, or whether it's an import of technical to make it a formulation and then make it available to the farmer. So custom clearance at present is hampered. It is very slow. So we request that this is an essential item. So this should be given priority, and all the pending clearance at custom should happen faster, on urgently, on immediate basis, so that the overall supply chain system should be improved, and it will help in ramping up the production of various products. And then another issue, I thought that I should share it. The GST on agrochemical is 18%, whereas on fertilizer it is 5%. So we request government to reduce the GST from 18% to 5% on the crop protection, so that this can reduce the cost of the farmer, and his overall investment on the crop production will be reduced. So we request the stakeholders to take it on priority and reduce the GST on the agrochemicals. It will be helpful for the farmers and for the Indian economy. So that was all about my presentation. Before concluding, I would like to thank the various COVID warriors who are risking their lives to save us. So I salute all the medical staff, doctors, nurses, police, the sanitation workers, and of course the Annadata, our farmer who is still in the field, and they are making food available to the entire country in this difficult time. And food is not in shortage in India. We are self-dependent because of the Annadata, and we are expecting a bumper food grain production in 2019-20 also. And last but not the least, the people who are involved in the manufacturing and the people who are involved in the logistic team in the agrochemical industry. So we salute them also, and they are risking their lives, but still they are responsible as a responsible citizen. So they are putting all efforts to produce these products to make it available to the farming community. So thank you very much for listening me patiently. And now I am handing it over to Shantanu for taking over the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful insight on the agri-input industry. Now we'll turn over to the question and answer session, sir, if you are comfortable with it.
Yes, Shantanu, please go ahead.
So I have got the prior questions also during registration. So this is the first question for you, sir. So in this COVID situation, means critical situation, the small scale industry are facing problems with payout to their staff, and also with the outstanding, how to cure the outstanding in the market. So whether they want to know whether the government is planning something for the small scale industry, or looking for the small scale for the perks and incentive.
See, Shantanu, as far as I know, till now, Government of India has not announced any kind of package for the small and medium enterprises. So whatever Government of India has done till now, that has been done for the farmers and the poor people. But Honorable Prime Minister and Ministry of Finance under the leadership of Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, so they are working on some kind of packages, and hopefully they should and they must announce some kind of package for the small and medium enterprises, because otherwise it will be difficult for the survival of small and medium enterprises. Because in the last 40-45 days during the lockdown, so everybody has incurring a lot of expenses, and there is no source of income. So for the survival of them, I think government must come up with some kind of packages.
Okay, sir. So the second question is again prior registration. So as there is an impact on a lot of jobs also, so in different industry. So how it will be in the agri-input industry, as many of the bottom line staff are fear with their careers and all that.
Can you repeat the last line?
So as many of the bottom line, frontline workers are worried about the job careers in the future. So what will be the impact of this COVID on this total industry?
See, Shantanu, again, that will depend on the organization to organization. So the organization with a strong bottom line and having the sufficient funds, the cash-rich companies, and we are the responsible corporate citizens. So, and the government of India has already requested that there should not be any job cut. So I think those kind of companies, the impact on the jobs should not be there. But again, as I told, that there's a survival issue for the organizations also. So organizations with a poor bottom line might go for those kind of things also, and they will go for some kind of retrenchment for their survival.
So one more thing, Ms. question was there prior registration. Few small scale industries are getting raw material from China. As the situation of lockdown, there are the chances of the increasing rate. So is there are you as an industry, are you presenting something to the government to have a watch or monitor on it? Because the rates will be like anything.
See, I think Shantanu, already a lot of measurements are there in place by Government of India and by the industry also. So most of the companies, they do have the quality checks, and I think most of the responsible company. So before releasing any product to the market, to the farming community, so they do the quality checks, and if there's an issue with the quality, I think no good company will release those kind of products in the market. But yes, since there is a shortage, so definitely some some bad elements can try these kind of things, and they should be the government of India, especially the custom quality people, they should be more vigilant, and they should not allow such products to enter in the country.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So one more question. As sir, in agriculture with farmers on day-to-day basis, our frontliners, marketing teams are giving demonstrations, then farmer meetings and all that. Already you have mentioned that now it is the part of virtual, on digital base it will be. But how difficult it will be for the agri-input industry where 90% of smalls and bigger companies are not onto that. So how can they deal with this situation?
See, definitely, Santanu. Not only that, the most of the farmers, they're the small and even the illiterate farmers are also there. But see, change is always a good thing. But every human resists change. So initially there will be some hurdle, there will be some issue. But in the last couple of years, this digital and the mobile internet has taken a big leap in the rural sector, and there was a tremendous growth in the telecom industry, and most of the farmers, specifically the second generation, so they are equipped with the technology, and they are already using the social media. They are already there on the WhatsApp, Facebook, and other social platforms. So maybe initially there will be some teething issues, but after some time, I think everyone will be used to. So initially, for the 3 to 6 months, there will be issue not only with the farmer but with the industry also. But slowly, gradually, I think people will be used to these kind of things, and it will improve.
Okay. So how will be impacting with the global food demand? Means which agriculture commodities will increase apart from cotton, soybean and paddy? Which are the other agriculture commodities that will be boost and will be in demand globally?
See, as I told that agrochemical industry will be least impacted because food is an essential item. So I feel that the basic food item for the every human being is the wheat and rice. If you talk about India, so the non-essential or the commercial crops, so they might take some kind of hit. So like maize, so that depends on the poultry. So if there's less demand, so the acreage can impact. So, but the main food commodity, the cereal crops, so there should not be any impact. And the non-essential crops, the commercial crops, so they can take some hit. But yes, the global food demand will definitely will be there because there will be no impact. And even for the agrochemical also, so we have seen tremendous demand, not only in the domestic industry, but even in the most of the countries on the export front also, because wherever there is a lockdown, but there is no impact on the demand of agrochemical. And I think most of the company, they are getting good orders from the various countries.
Okay, sir. So one more thing, as we are seeing a day-to-day impact on crude oil prices, they are crashing. So what's the impact on the agriculture, means agri-input industry, sir?
Yeah, since there's a global lockdown and no traveling is happening, whether it's air or road transport, so due to that, there's no demand for the crude oil, and even there's an issue with the storage. So most of the oil producing countries, so they have limited capacity to store, and that's why it is going negative. As far as agrochemical industry is concerned, so see, few years back there was a lot of EC formulation, which is emulsifiable concentrate. But of late, companies have moved to more eco-friendly, environment-friendly formulations like EW, SC, WG, then CS formulations. So most of the companies, they have moved to such kind of formulations. So nowadays there are very less EC formulations. But wherever EC formulations are there, so due to reduction in the prices of solvents, so the cost of these products might come down. But what is happening? The component of solvent is not that much in the most of the formulations, and the cost of technical is pretty high. So whatever reduction in cost is there on account of reduction in price of solvents, so that will be set off by the increase in the prices of technicals.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So one more question. It's means as we are turning to the digital platform, so there will be the restriction in convention methods to reaching to the farmers. So we'll be moving to the virtual. So are the agri input industries looking for online sales? Means having their own portals, as few examples we are having, as AgroStar is working. So same model can be replicated throughout all industry or something?
Yes, Antanu, I think keeping in mind the current situation, this will further improve. As far as I know, whatever little knowledge I have, I think there are some regulatory issue with the door delivery. Some licensing issues are there, and few governments don't allow those kind of things. So I think that has to be taken care of. If that is taken care of, so in the near future, I think this will be a hot sector. And on door delivery of the agrochemical, it will be big boost in the coming future.
Okay. So one more thing, as due to this COVID impact, the new pesticide availability will be not usual, means normal. So are there any chances of generic pesticide increase sales and all that? I think somebody has said.
See, Santanu, again, that will depend product to product. So I know the most of the multinationals, so they import their products in their destination country. So whether it's Germany, Europe. So if there will be a long-term impact on the import clearances, so then there can be some issue. But I think most of these companies, they import well in advance for the entire year requirement. So I don't think really that there will be very big impact on the availability of these multinational products. But if the situation will continue for a longer time, then there might be some impact.
Okay, sir. So one more question is there, that the increase in herbicide will be there. So again, this year the herbicide will be at the top of the season overall, if you claim.
Yes, Andrew, definitely one good monsoon we are expecting. So whenever there is more rain, so more weed germination and more consumption of herbicides, number one. Number two, labor availability is a major problem. So still in India, a lot of farmers, they go for manual weeding. So if you see in Indian agrochemical industry, if we assume that the domestic consumption of the Indian agrochemical industry is close to 20,000 crore rupees, so the contribution of herbicide is around 25%. Whereas globally, the contribution of herbicide in the agrochemical industry is around 50%. So in India, still there's a lot of scope to increase the herbicides and increase the awareness of the usage of the herbicides. So due to shortage of labor, more farmers will go for the usage of herbicide. So due to these factors, I think the overall sale of herbicides, whether it's a pre-emergence or post-emergence, whether it's a soybean, cotton, rice, I think overall the sale of herbicide will go up.
Yes, sir. So as you mentioned about the labor availability, but as we are seeing more migrants are there from the state, everybody wants to go to their home places, to their villages. So one general question is there, as the industrial employees are sitting idly at the village place, so will the farming community will be having more competitiveness? So labor available will be more. I means the question is there.
Can you repeat your question, Sandro?
As sir, there are more migrants from one state to another. Everybody is moving to their own villages.
Right.
So I think they will again engage in the farming operations. So labor availability will be there. Few suggestions are there.
So see, the states from where these labor comes from, states like UP, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand. So those kind of states, so there for the agriculture operations and for the industrial use, so availability of labor will not be an issue. But the major states where industrialization is there, states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, and the major producing states, agri-commodity producing states like Punjab and Haryana. So where specifically for the rice transplantation, the most of the labor comes from UP and Bihar. So in these states, we will face issue for the agriculture operations as well as for the industrial operations.
Okay. So in this session, we have few students also. So those who are completed MBA and all that. So they are also worried whether to step in this agri-input sector or not. So can you just give a glimpse due to current situation?
See, Santanu, as I told that agri sector, especially the agri-input sector, will be the least impacted sector. Just like pharmaceutical, so the agrochemical are also the lifeline for the crops. So it is the continuous and never-ending growing sector. So there is no doubt about this sector, and growth is bound to happen in this sector. There can be some temporary setbacks or hiccups, but if you see the long term, I think this is the one of the most promising sector. And if specifically in India, you see the Indian agrochemical industry is growing at a faster pace as compared to most of the other developed countries. So I think globally the industry is growing at the rate of 1 to 2%. Where in India we are seeing in the last 4 or 5 years the industry is growing at the rate of 7 to 8%. So that itself shows that there's a lot of promise in the Indian agrochemical sector, and nothing to worry about the Indian agrochemical sector. So a lot of scope and a lot of promise is there in this sector.
Okay, sir. So now the only last question. So what do you feel will the contract farming will be enhanced end-to-end users?
Yeah, definitely. There's a scope in contract farming also. So few models are very successful. The models adopted by PepsiCo and various other corporates. So where end-to-end model, so they are able to do the farming in a proper manner. From sowing to harvesting, they follow all the guidelines given by the various corporate sector. So with these successful kind of models, we feel that in future these kind of contract farming will further increase, and this will help in enhancing the overall food grain production.
Okay, sir. So only last question, sir, on the logistic and supply chain part. So could you just give a guidelines what is the procedure for getting the permissions for C&F to start their operations, and what care Ms. government have instructed for them?
Yeah, so I think Santanu, Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs, so they have issued various notifications. So if anybody needs, we can also make them available. So in those notifications, specifically the notification dated 25th March and 27th March, in those two notifications, they have included the soaps and pesticides of soaps of seeds and pesticides, and the manufacturing operations of pesticides and the ancillary industry as an essential item, and they have exempted them. So various state governments, they have given some online link to get the passes. So either we can go to those links and we can apply online for getting these passes, wherein we can attach the copy of these notifications, and we can also attach the copy of our licenses like insecticide license and GST number and other documents. So with these documents, we can apply online and we can get the online passes. If some state government, they are not giving the online passes, so then what the people can do, they can go to the district magistrate office of their respective districts, and they can take these documents and they can apply there in physical form, and definitely they will give them these passes. So nowadays, a lot of local administration, they are giving adequate support to the farming operations and to the agriculture industry, and they have allowed and they have given the passes and permissions. Only thing is that my request to all such people is that we should follow the all kind of guidelines issued by Government of India, whether it's social distancing norms or washing hands on regular intervals, so wearing masks. So we need to take care of all those things, and we should not violate the permission, and we should not exploit that. So we should take care of all such things. We at Bharat are taking care of all such things, and we are disinfecting our premises on regular basis, and we are taking proper care of our team at our plants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for addressing all the questions also. And I promise you we will take your suggestions to the government of Maharashtra Agriculture Ministry and also central ministers. We will have a representation for the suggestions on the GST from 18 to 5%. So as a part of MCCI, we will definitely represent agri input sector over there.